Welcome back to Feelin Girlie, my girlinos. How are we doing today? We are recording this a little bit earlier. If you came out to the Dallas shows, thank you so much. They were incredible. We're recording this before I actually did it. This upcoming weekend, we have to make a couple of episodes. There's actually not too much going on in our lives today, I feel like. But I did watch. Are you guys Handmaid's Tale people?
Mm-mm.
I just watched episode 9 of The Handmaid's Tale, and because I've been like a Handmaid's Tale person from the beginning, I'm really on the pulse of what's good in culture, and it was so good. But I will say, although I do agree, it's like the conversation. Not to be like disrespectful. I know everyone's always like, well, especially with everything that's happening in the government right now, it's like. We know. Can we just enjoy this really bad dystopian future that's going to happen for us eventually? Sometimes I think, this is so sick. I go like, I would be June. I mean, I wouldn't be a handmaid, obviously, because I can't have children. But I do feel like I would kind of be the leader of a rebellion. Is that narcissistic to say, to be like, I think that I would be the one leading people in the dark times? Or is that man?
That's you being a man. That's you being a man.
Yeah, I'm like, I think that people would follow me into the darkness, into the woods.
I think I'd be a sniper if I got drafted.
Yeah, you love that I say that if I was straight, I'm gay, but I would still be a sniper.
Yeah, that's the funniest thing to me.
Yeah.
Just
what?
No, it's just funny because it doesn't. You can't get rid of that. Men are, no matter what, they're like, no, I'd fuck that guy up though.
Oh, I always say that with like hookup culture with gay guys, because I talk about this on stage a lot. I talk about this with my friends a lot, because gay men have the ability to basically have sex whenever they want. I mean, if you're relatively attractive, and that's what I call myself, relatively attractive. That's what this podcast should be called, Relatively Attractive, or that's the name of my first special or book. And because like when it comes to women aren't going to like an app like Grindr. Grindr's is literally built for easy, fun, quick sex. You know what I mean? Get in, get out. I mean, and it's actually a problem in my life. I get addicted to. I had to delete it off my phone this morning because I was like, last night I was like up till 3:00 in the morning being like, I bet I could find someone to jerk off with, and. Which I'm sorry for bringing this up, but this is who I am. I haven't drank alcohol in 3 years. I'm a sex addict. What do you want me to say? I'm looking for a connection and love, and by connection and love, I mean a big old load in my mouth. Okay. Did that make your tummy?
Yeah, it made my tummy hurt.
I was just swinging my leg, and I just saw the comment in my head of the person being like, "What's going on with this guy's leg? He won't stop swinging it." I was like, "Okay, well, Jesus, God forbid, I'm on camera for hours every single day. I can't swing my legs." Yeah, but I just don't think that women obviously aren't going to get on an app that gives you your exact location, and.
True.
Yeah, I just think it is true. I had a whole reason why I brought up Grindr. What was that?
Handmaid's Tale. I don't know. That's what we were talking about.
I know that.
Men, like how it's still a man thing to be like gay.
Oh.
Even if you're gay, you still want to be like the leader.
Oh yeah, 100%. And that's what I think about like sex, is that we get to have sex in ways that I think straight men wish they could have sex, but they can't because they kill women. And so I know it's really sad. I wish they would stop. Don't you wish every day I wake up and I go like, I wish men would stop killing women, but you guys just won't stop. It's really bad. They do it all the time. It's like literally in the news every single day, a new man. Well, that's the Handmaid's Tale is like so true, because it's like all about oppressing women. And why is that everybody's goal is to like oppress everybody else? It's like, I genuinely don't care. Everything online is like Ragebait culture. There's this lesbian on Instagram and TikTok who she's like a Trump person, and she goes around and she's like, how do you feel about the word queer? And then it's like she's talking to someone with like blue hair, and they're like, well, as a queer person, like I actually feel like really like identify with that culture. And she's like, yeah, not me. She's like, I think it's disgusting. And you're like, okay, here. She's like, what do you think about non-binary? And the person's like, well, it's just they're giving like respectful answers, and she's like, you can't, there's two genders. I couldn't imagine giving a fuck about what anybody else does in their life. Like someone's like, I'm non-binary. I'm not like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm just like, chill, brother. You know what I mean? Like, or whatever.
But yeah.
That's sick, sibling. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, to me, I could not care less about what anybody else does in their life, on the street. I only care about myself. Why is that? I don't, and maybe that's selfish. I don't really know. But I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I mean, if anybody cared what I did with my life, I'd be like, you're psycho. But it seems like that is the theme of everybody's life, is just trying to control everybody else. And I really just don't understand. It seems like so much work to like care what other people are doing. And I wonder if it's a reflection of, do they care what other people are doing, or do they see it as like a mirror to themselves, and they're trying to control everything around them to control the perception of who they are? Is that like really smart, or was that just word soup? I mean, it was what I just said was either like incredibly intelligent or the dumbest thing you've ever heard in your entire life.
No, it wasn't dumb.
Okay,
I
thank
feel
you.
like they're
I think that people are boring.
Well,
That's what it is.
They
People
have-
are so boring that they don't. It's like they don't do stuff like this, so then they get.
but
That's
don't
their
you
outlet.
also think? I genuinely think the problem in America, in the world right now, is that like we have two problems. One, people are like really clinging onto identity while also not knowing who they are as people. So it's like they have all these identifying factors of like, this is who I am, but like in their core spirit, it's like so shallow that they don't actually know who they are as a person. Like, I feel like my biggest gift in life, I feel like a lot of issues I've had in my life with like my body or how I look or things that I can't control. The one saving grace that I've always had is that I know who I am, and I've always known who I am, and I've had a very strong sense of identity since I was a child. So I think that's why I don't care about like necessarily like what other people think of me. I mean, of course, sometimes it hurts when you find out people like say bad things about you. To be honest, like I never hear people saying bad things about me. Like even people say that to me, they'll be like, I've actually never heard anyone talk shit about you, and I go like, oh, that's so sweet. And I'm sure if they did, it would be like, oh, he like was rude at game night, which we all know I am. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I feel like everybody's like has a hard time apologizing. Nobody can take responsibility for themselves. We're just living in an age of like, I think holding on to identity while also not knowing who you are. So I think it creates fragile people like walking around this earth and just screaming at each other. And it's so boring, because if you just like took the time to figure out what you want, like you guys, it's like you're a comic, you're an artist, I'm a comic. Like we know who we are as people. And it's like, why do we care if somebody is like, I don't even care if somebody's like, you know, like someone the other day was like, well, would you date a Republican? And I was like, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't date someone who's a Trump Republican, because you're susceptible to propaganda in a way that's humiliating. But you know what I mean? It's like if someone's like, I voted for Trump and I love him, I'm like, okay, for sure. And I respect that you're allowed to vote for whoever you want. And I just think you're weak-minded. and that is how I feel. But I also feel that way about the people on the left as well. You know what's so bad is that, you know, I have nothing to talk about when I just start talking about politics. An uneducated girl who watched The Handmaid's Tale for a couple of years now has political opinions. Sorry. But yeah, I guess I feel like The Handmaid's Tale kind of does that. But God, they put so many good things in those episodes. There was like a big brawl last night where they start shooting people out. It was really good. I mean, when you watch women, nothing makes me more horny than a woman with a gun. I know, genuinely, seeing a girl shoot and kill people is like, when she's good with the gun, I'm like, now that's a woman. I mean, I feel like if I was a girl, I would be like so fucking hot, and I would have like a gorgeous dress on, like 9-inch heels, but like a fucking gun strapped to my leg, and I would just like take guys out. I'm like, I would love to be a spy if I was a girl. If I was a girl, I'd be a spy. You guys are going to see that on my Instagram. By the way, if you're watching this now, I'm sure you've already seen it on my Instagram. I've done this is time travel. I just think it's so fun. Josh, do you feel repressed about being a ginger?
What do you mean by this?
Well, one, because I know that gingers have their life hard, but two, you also were recently appointed black, so I was wondering how that made you feel. I love, by the way, the gingers crying on TikTok being like, this is the most love I've ever had in my life. I was like, oh shit, I didn't realize we were treating them that bad. I didn't realize that we had been marginalizing the gingers.
Yeah, those guys are freaks.
That's the other thing.
They were freaks that were. If you're crying off that, it's like clearly a joke, right?
Yeah.
It's like if you actually resonated with that lady who's like in the middle of a bipolar disorder rant, being like, "Gingers are black." It's like, Well, she didn't say it like that.
Yeah, please don't, Josh. Please don't do
I did a black slip for no reason.
Yeah. That's white America these days, okay?
Well, as a black man, I can do the voice.
Oh, that is true. I forgot. Sorry, he was recently appointed. And as someone who's from Massachusetts, I can say the R word. Okay. That just kind of was written a little asterisk. Just kidding. I really don't say it. You know what I was thinking, though? You know how some people, they're like, that's the other thing, like, with, like, words, people are like, you can't tell me what I can and can't say. Or, like, they're like, everyone wants to say the R word, and it's like, I know you probably, there's some of you being like, just say it. I actually don't like saying it. It doesn't make me...
Really? I say it all the time.
Yeah, she loves it.
Sorry, I think
No. It doesn't. I don't care.
She says it all the time. Like, make it bad.
I don't even know. It's embarrassing. I don't even say like the phrase, the R word. I mean, I say it, but like whenever I do say it, there's like a little twinge. I always talk about this, and maybe this is stupid, which is like the curse of knowing better, which is like with drinking, I feel this way. Like I can never enjoy ever, because I haven't drinking in 3.5 years. Because I have a problem with alcohol and I'm an alcoholic. I can never have another drink without knowing that I have a problem with it. And then like, so once I know that something hurts other people, like it's like now I just picture like the mentally challenged kids who like were standing like at the desk asking us to sign the petition to like stop saying the R word. Every time I say it, I just go like, I told them I wouldn't. You know what I mean? Like, there's just something in me that like makes me feel like, or like, you know what I really don't understand is like, and there's a lot of white people listening to this, so I do feel like, you know, I'm talking to you guys, not you guys, but your boyfriends probably. But like, there's so many white guys that like really want to say the N word, and not even like in a hateful way, but they want to like playfully say it. Like this thing happens sometimes, especially in comedy. The doors get shut, everybody's white, and the boys start saying it. And there's a part of you that goes like, y'all really, this is like not cool. I don't know. It's just like, I think it's the curse of knowing better. Although it's not a curse to not say the N word. That's not what I'm saying. You know, I think I'm speaking wrong. But like you know what I mean? Yeah. But like.
They're doing it to be taboo is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think there's nothing more embarrassing than like saying something to be like, I'm crazy and taboo and like everyone gets
afraid to go there.
Yeah, like why is it so many people's their number one thing is to try to upset other people? That is like what I'm like, I never want to upset anybody. If you're ever upset with me, I'm so sorry. I will apologize. If you ever message me and say like, I really feel offended, I'll apologize. I have no problem apologizing. I'm like, well, I'll move on with my day. And probably try to learn and maybe mess up again. The only thing that I really can't control is how I use Grindr. And that is, that is the curse of knowing better has not happened with Grindr. I know there are guys on there that I'm like, I know if I go over there and I jerk off with him or like suck his dick, I'm going to leave and be like, why did I do that? But I still find me putting my shoes on, walking out in the night. I do. I find myself, it's dark out and my eyes go completely black and I'm like, ooh, somebody's gonna come.
When do you think you're gonna re-download it?
Oh, today. I just deleted it because I felt embarrassed for a moment, but yeah, there's like, it's just, I don't know why. I think it's because I go for guys on there that are like not something that I should hang out with. You know what I mean? Like it's like guys who identify as like bi or DL or straight.
Yeah, you got something going on with that one, right?
Well,
like
because
you like to flip them.
No, you know, it's not even that, because I think guys who like to flip, this is my theory about gay guys that like to flip, they like the hunt, which is like, I never do it in person, or like I would never, these are guys who are on Grindr. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, they've done all, they've flipped.
Yeah. They've came to the dark side.
At this point, we're doing role play. You know what I mean? Like they're lowering their voice. They're saying they're bi. It's like whatever. They've downloaded the app. They're sending nude photos. You know what I mean? Like this is like stage 5. You know? I think because I've never ever. I think one time when I was really drunk, there was a vibe between me and a straight guy, and I like sexually speaking, and I was like, I'm intrigued, and he was like, I'm intrigued, and that's as far as it went, because I'm a little bitch and I am so I'm so scared of making other people feel uncomfortable sexually. I think this is the OCD thing where I'm like, I never want to make a move on somebody because I never want to be seen as a predator, and so I think of it, and I always think like, if I even said like, oh, I think you're attractive, like genuinely they'd be like, who, this person is trying to attack me. You know? And Josh has OCD, and because of his stand-up, I was like, oh, I think I have OCD too, but I make that up in my head. But
I think you do too.
Thank you so much. But so like, if I was ever hanging out with a straight guy, I would never be like some gay guys will be like, touch their knee. And it's like, I would never do that. It would make me so uncomfortable. So I don't like flipping them like that. But I like guys who present as masculine. But I think on the deeper level than that, the reason I go for those guys isn't because they're straight. It's because they're projecting out to the world like this. Nothing will come from this romantically. So I think it's a way for me to shield myself from being hurt, because it's just like, this is just sex. You cannot get hurt this way. You know, I think it's all much more layered. I think that way about when I used to be over 400 pounds as well. Like, it wasn't about food. It was about keeping other people away from me. It was like trying to shield myself. And like, I think it's all subconscious, obviously, but you like make yourself super big to make yourself like, okay, I'm going to stand alone and be singular. I think that's like my biggest problem in life, is that I always am trying to like fence myself off from the rest of the world, which is because I'm a no person and I'm working on being a yes person, which is why I said yes to game night last week. And I did. I said yes because I'm trying to say yes in my life more, because everyone, do you want to do this? No, I don't want to do that. All I ever do is work. And so, yeah, I mean, we really explored a lot of themes. We Handmaid's Tale, politics, me hooking up with straight guys, and being fat.
I have a fun segment potentially if you're okay with it.
Yeah.
What if we explore what if we re-download Grindr and we show the people your profile?
Absolutely not. Number one, and I'll be completely honest with you. I can tell you exactly what my profile looks like, which is, it's a picture. It is not a picture of like, well, it's a picture of me, but you don't know it's me. Well, that's the other problem that this app is that now when I send face pictures on there, because you can send messages and chats and videos and voice memos and stuff, it's for like, it's so much fun. And my picture is literally just me in gray sweatpants with no underwear underneath.
Dick print showing?
Dick print showing.
Let's go.
And listen, you got to advertise what you got. Okay? And if I had a big old fat juicy ass, that'd be on there too, but I don't. Okay? So I show what God gave me. And so I do that, and then I just write like, looking for jerk off and oral. Is this such a sexual heavy episode? Are the girls going to be like, this is sick?
They're all kind of like that.
Okay, yeah, you guys are horse.
These ladies are talking about getting DP'd on their honeymoon. What are we talking about?
I know, and you know what? They're so honest and vulnerable with me that I feel like I should be honest and vulnerable with me. I'm jerking off with your boyfriend's chica.
And he's in a ski mask.
Oh my God, I did hook up with that guy in the ski mask. He was so hot though. Sometimes I literally get horny and I go, I should text him. I haven't talked to him in a year and a half. I go, don't text him. He literally doesn't care about you. Okay.
But you could.
I know. I don't even know if he lives in Austin anymore.
And I know that you've said this before, but you would never date somebody from Grindr. That's a hard no.
No, I mean, I'm open. I mean, I don't really care about, people are like, we can't tell people we met on the dating apps. That's not how I feel. I'm very much like, oh, I could date somebody off Grindr. Like, I've met guys on Grindr. What's nice about Grindr is that sometimes it really surprises you, because most of the times you go over there and you jerk off. I went over to a guy's apartment last night and jerked off, and he was hot and he was claiming to be straight, but then I got there. Sometimes they like claim to be straight and then you get there and they're like, hey, how are you? And you're like, oh, okay. Honey, I don't think you're keeping your secret very well. But then he came, and then like, I just feel bad after guys come, and then I like know that I was like, I know it's going to take me like a minute, and he's already busted. We already made him bust, and it's like, I'll tell you something. You want to know a secret, girls? Once he's busted, he's out. If he's still going, that means he really likes you. That really is, because he was still trying to go, and I just looked at him and I go, it's going to take a while. I know how you're feeling right now. There's a strange man in your apartment. You thought this was really hot 20 minutes ago before I came over. Now we had a good old time, and you came, and now you're like, I'm sure you're like, I gotta get this faggot out of my house. There's no way that is not you're going through your mind.
Oh, that's so funny.
It's just true.
The second, or like that instant clarity when you're like, what am I doing?
I want to make this clear to the girls. This is how men feel. You're normal. You're walking around. You're doing your work. You think you're a good person. Something happens. The wind breeze. Someone walks by you find attractive. Your dick moves a little bit. You're now horny until you come. For the rest of the day, you're trying to be a normal person. But there's two people inside of you. There's the good person who wants the world to be happy. And then there's the predator. And the predator wants to come. And your eyes go completely black. That's when you see guys with those shark eyes, and oh, it's scary. And then you finally get it. You jerk off, you come. And the minute you come, you go back to reality and you go, I have a soul. I want happiness in the world. I think everybody deserves human rights. But I don't believe those things when I'm horny. I have one mission, and that is to fuck something. And your husbands, your boyfriends, the guys that you think love you, they don't. That's why they manipulate you into having sex and tell you they have feelings for you when they do not. They are just trying to come. And the minute they come, their first thought is, I never should have come over here. Not all the time. Some of you girls are real pretty and you snatch them up. And you know what I mean? And to you girls, I say, you're lucky. But let me tell you something. Even the hottest girls in the world, a guy has come and said, I gotta get out of here. Right? Even the most beautiful woman in the world, someone is coming next to, I don't even know, what's a good example? Don't say Megan Fox.
Sydney Sweeney.
So literally Sydney Sweeney, somebody's coming next to Sydney Sweeney and then being like, yeah, I hate her. You know, she's a lot. She's a lot. She's a lot. Yeah. Although I bet she is like made for sex. Not in like but she's like so beautiful and whatever. But she, I feel like she like is for men wise like if this is a simulation, a man made Sydney Sweeney. If we live in a simulation, a man created Sydney because she's just like, hi, how are you? I'm Sydney Sweeney. Her tits are jumping around. I love when you find out that guys. I will say when I find out that guys are tits guys, I'm like, are you a tits guy?
You know what? As I get older, I'm back on tits.
I think tits are coming back
ass,
in.
And now I'm back on tits.
Well, I think ass is a trend. That's the other thing that I know.
I don't have an ass.
No,
you look like you do.
No, that's not true.
No.
I don't have an ass either, Ariel. We're the assless girls. Well, that's the other thing is I just.
You got a great. You should.
Hey.
It's okay.
We're doing the podcast.
I love your ass.
Wow.
Oh, that's so sweet.
My eyes are going black right now as we talk.
Yeah.
I gotta get out of here.
Well, that's the other thing is that going back to how people don't know each other, know who they are, is like people just follow trends. You think someone like knows who they are, has style? No, they're just watching what other people are doing, and then they just are copying. We're living in a world of copiers, and no one's authentic. And you think they're authentic because they're early to the trends, but they're not. Nobody. I remember my junior year of high school. I'm from a small town, and here's how you just know that everybody's a copier: is that there was, and I wonder if you girls will remember this. Do you remember 2011, 2010? It was 2000. It was the fall of 2010. American Eagle made that shirt that was roped like straps, white, and then flowers coming up, different colors. It was like purple, blue, green, yellow. There was like 3 of them. American Eagle did this. The first day of junior year, every single girl wore this shirt to my school. Every single, in different colors. It was like a mind trip.
I can't picture it. Why?
And then the second day, all the other girls. So like it was like it was absolutely insane. It was like half the girls had worn it the first day, half the girls had worn it the second day. Everybody is a copier, okay? No one's original. Don't ever feel bad that you're not like coming up with things. You can't figure out outfits. Like Josh, he thinks he knows himself. He goes, I used to be an ass guy. Now I'm back on tits. No, he just likes women and he doesn't know what he actually likes because he's a man. And he's never had... I actually do have a theory that most men don't know who they really are or what they really want until much later in life because there's pack mentality with straight men where they're never actually pushed on what they like or questioned because it's just funneled right into society. Where like women and gay men, we're so criticized for what we like and it's called feminine and stupid and belittled so much that we find the need, we have to like find defenses and like prove to other people why we like what we like. And so we truly know who we are, what we like and why we like it so much faster than straight men because nobody's ever questioned their interest before. And that's just what I believe. And that's why we have the male loneliness epidemic because they all don't know who they are because they've never been questioned and then they kill people. And yeah, stop killing people, men. Straight men. I wish there was gay guys killing, but we don't do that, do we? I mean, do we kill?
You got it.
I think sometimes we kill each other, but that's different. That's that's fair.
I actually think you're really onto something with that.
I 100% believe that. I really believe that straight men have never been questioned in anything in their life, which is why they have no idea who they are, and then they have mental breakdowns, and that's why they buy Ferraris at the age of 40 because they've never had it, and they just listen to music and play the sports that like because being friends in a straight male group isn't about being an individual. It's about assimilating
the team.
It's about the team,
Yeah.
which is like great for when you're in high school football, but when you're alone in college,
Yes.
depressed in your dorm room, wanting to kill yourself, which is why men kill themselves, because they have no one to talk to, because you guys aren't individuals. You really, truly.
No, I agree
and
with this.
and you want to know why? Because when you meet a straight man who is an individual, it is like everybody loves them, because it's like, oh, they've really questioned who they are. Like Harry Styles. I actually don't love what he's doing on stage. I think he's doing like gay baiting stuff. But like, I so respect what he's doing, because he's like, I'm just being me. But then we have the copier, Benson Boone. There's always an original and there's always a copier. What do we got time-wise?
25.
I think that's great. Let's move on to a couple of emails. I saw some really good ones in here, and I purposely went to the ones that has attachments. Also, after this, we're going to move over to the Patreon. Something very exciting this week. We have my very good friend Kat Swadner on the Patreon. We're going to be answering emails with a bisexual woman. And she's very nice, so you guys have to be really nice to Kat and follow her, okay?
And that's patreon.com/feelingirlie.
Feelin Girlie. Okay. This one says, advice, please. Oh, it's short, too. I love that. P.S. Hey, Dylan. My name is Anonymous. Sorry. Okay, great. Okay. So, hi, Dylan. Please keep my name and photos anonymous. Also, sorry if this is too long. I already looked. It's not too long. You're so sweet. Oh, the girls who say it's too long, it's never too long. And the girls who say nothing ruined my life. I'm dyslexic, so sorry if there's any confusion. I think I'm dyslexic too, so no problem. I'm a 19-year-old tier 2 girly. Ooh, and here we are on the tier 2 girls. We love you. Who knew about the podcast and finally got around to watching it. Now that I have it, I love it and binge every episode in a day. Oh my God, thank you. Want to pay for Patreon once I get all my finances in order. I totally hear you, girl. It's really hard to figure out where $5 comes from. I truly believe that you girls think the Patreon is like $100 a month. I'm not to be disrespectful. It's $5 a month. Like, you're always like making excuses. Like, and by the way, I'm not saying if you don't have the money to for the Patreon, listen to the free content. That's so good. But there's something so funny about like, I got to get my finances in order to get this $5 a month. It's like, you could throw $5 a month literally down the toilet and you wouldn't even think about it.
Support the Patreon. You're buying stuff from all these big corporations all the time. Support local creators.
Local creators who need your help. I don't need that.
All proceeds will go to Dylan's Ferrari.
Yeah. I come in, I'm like, thanks, girl. I don't care about cars like that. Now that I loved it. Okay. I work at a low-paying blue-collar job and spent all my cash on a drunk bitch, so I'm a little strapped for cash, but I definitely want to pay for the extra perks. Okay, you know what? I didn't read that before. I just roasted you, and I've totally been there, girlina. You know when you're spending your last... But hey, be careful with those drugs, because I'm wondering what you were doing, and just make sure you're testing them before you actually do it, because, you know, there's fentanyl and everything, and I'd hate to see one of my girlinos die. But I would come to the funeral if you'd like me to.
That's a tier 1 perk.
Oh, sorry. Shit. If you die in your drug overdose, I can't come to your funeral. That's only for the tier 1 girls. Don't forget I'm a comedian. I'm not just some gay guy. I'm going to say messed up shit. Okay. Don't worry, by the way, I'm sober now from all the alcohol, cigarettes. Okay, and dissociatives. Okay, you're sober now. Okay, you have the $5. I'm back. I'm back on it. Okay. Anyways, I'm emailing because I was looking for some advice on a couple of things. First thing, I was wondering how to deal with internalized homophobia, transphobia towards yourself. Oh, I'm openly bi and a closeted trans girl, by the way. It's so weird because I love being queer and I'm obviously accepting the greater queer community, but I was raised in a conservative Christian, Mennonite, and Mexican background, and I still harbor some of this shame. Funny how, like, I feel like sometimes the rants we do in the beginning kind of always something comes up in the pot thing. But secondly, I would like some advice on how to deal with gender dysphoria when you can't openly do the things that make you feel girly. I want to transition very badly, but live in a small conservative town where I'm not sure if that would be the safest. I know obviously advice would be to get out of here, but I just don't have the resources to do so at the moment. The last thing I need advice on is how not to be ashamed of the way I look. I think I look fine now, but I grew up as that one ugly autistic kid, and that still gets to me from time to time. Not even joking, as a kid, I looked like an unripe potato that had been left out in the sun for too long. Okay. Aww. Anyways, that's everything. This podcast has become my most recent autistic hyperfixation. I love it. It's the best. I hope you become a super famous and that you find your husband someday. Also, Josh and Ariel are great. They're so funny and sweet. Thank you. I love you and what you do. Oh my God, that's so sweet. P.S. Sorry, I don't think I forgot pictures. They should be attached in this email. Like I said, I'm part Mennonite, and they are kind of like the Amish, so very sheltered from technology and anything but Bible related. So I just started learning about shit like pop culture and how to do basic things in the computer like 5 years ago. I don't know if you get them and you get them, I guess you're really not missing out. Oh, wow. No, you're such a cutie. I hate to say this, but when you actually do transition, you're going to be like such a hot woman. You have the hair, bod, face. It's all going to work out for you. So, and also even as, having a boy bod, it's pretty ripped. So good for you. Yeah. So that's actually, okay. So I can't speak on how to, deal with gender dysphoria. That's not something that I struggle with. I unfortunately am in the body of a man, and well, actually, I kind of can because I need to get my chest taken off because I have gynecomastia. So, how do you feel comfortable in the way that you look? Honestly, that's such an interesting question. I mean, I don't want to give you any like. Number one, I want to say that's hard. Number two, I want to say, damn, went from Mennonite to trans real quick. That's how you know trans is real. Okay, I mean, where you're like, you didn't even grow up with the internet. And you're like, I'm in the wrong body. You're a conservative person's worst nightmare. I can talk about what it feels like to be different in a small town. And the thing about being different in a small town, and because all of these things really would be fixed by you getting out of there, because you said it's not safe to be in there. I think you're not going to be happy. You might be happy for a little bit, and obviously transitioning would help your mental state a lot more. But like even eventually after the hype of transitioning goes down, you will start to go back and be like, well, now I don't like this about my life, this or that, or it will always come back. So the best thing you can do, I always think the best thing you can do is get right with how you look right now. If you looked in the mirror right now and said like, if this is what I am for the rest of my life, how do I walk through this life and be okay with who I am? Because not saying that that's what's going to happen, but if you do that now, you will be so much happier once after you transition because you already got right with yourself mentally before you did it. I think that's so important. Two, in a small town, it is weirdly, I will also say this. In a small town, people will surprise you. I don't know where you are. I don't know your community. I knew that in my small town, I was very, very scared to come out. And then once I did, you have to remember that like it is a small town. It is conservative. Most likely it's people who've known you your entire life. So they do have a little bit more of a twinge of understanding and love because it's not some person on the internet. It's not some trans girl that they're talking about hypothetically. It's you, the person they've watched grown up. So you do want to remember and give them a little bit of grace for that. I also understand about like wanting to wait. Obviously, it's very, very scary. But I also, just a reminder that like sometimes we build things up to be way worse in our heads than they actually are. 2 or 3, your mission in life, it is very, very hard to get out of a small town. It is much harder, I think, than getting out of the suburbs. Because in the suburbs, it's kind of like you're adjacent to a city. In a small town, you're usually pretty far away from one. And so I genuinely think that your number one piece of advice that I can give you is that, like, by the way, congratulations on getting sober. That's not easy and very, very hard to do. I think your number one piece of advice is you should have a mission. Your mission in life is to make as much money as possible. You're not doing anything but working hard, taking care of your mental health, taking care of your physical body, and making sure that you are happy and content as much as you can be to save money to leave. This could take a year, 2 years, but that should be your whole goal. Every time you feel down on yourself, you're like, you have to make a plan. You have to know where you want to move. You have to manifest this. And so do you have a job? Get a second job. Make everything a priority to get you out of this small town, because the hardest part about leaving a small town is not having money to do so. And mentally, it is very hard to actually leave. I remember when I left my small town for the first time, I didn't leave until I was 23 because I felt very stuck mentally. And I was already doing comedy for 2 years at this point. And then once I left, once I had gotten like 5 states away driving, I remember having this like freeing feeling of like, oh my God. All I ever had to do was pack my bags and leave. And by the way, I left my small town with $4,000 and 1 month paid rent with a roommate that I had found on the internet. Like you don't need $10,000 to move to a new city. You need like waitressing experience, $4,000, and a place to live. And as long as you are a hard person, you don't get back on drugs or do any of that kind of stuff, and you just move to a city, put your head down, and then work hard for that full year, try to make friends, you will get out and you will start a new life, and there will be more resources and availability for gender affirming care when you're in a more liberal city. So that is my goal for you. I love you so much. Very, very sweet, and I can't wait to see what this future holds for you. And please write up an email if you ever do leave your small town, and I have a really good idea that you will. I feel like that was really fun.
Yeah,
that was good, right?
Good advice, yeah.
Okay, amazing. Let's do another email. My coworker asked to subscribe to my OnlyFans. Okay.
We love consent.
We love consent. I mean, they, by the way, they're already in it.
Yeah.
There's no way that this man, by the way, I haven't even read the email, I know it's a man, isn't already jerking off to your OnlyFans every night and then feeling guilty about it. Was like, well, I'll just ask. Men are so stupid.
Crazy.
It's crazy. Men, like, they always tell on themselves. That's the thing. Okay.
I'd love to jack off. See you later tonight.
Yeah. If you don't mind. If you don't mind. Okay. My coworker asked to subscribe to my OnlyFans. We love when Josh goes on a laughing fit. Okay. Hi, Dylan, Ariel, and the entire Giggle Squad. First off, I'm obsessed with the pod, living for the hot goss, unhinged drama, and unapologetic girly chaos. So, this isn't exactly a request for advice. It's more of a am I the asshole tale with a sprinkle of slippery slope energy. For the sake of everyone involved, I'll be using fake names. I'm Christy, female 39. Up until 2021, I worked in a very male-dominated industry. As a recovering pick-me, I honestly thought that... I love that. I thought that that's where I belonged. But after COVID hit, I made a pivot into something new, left my old job, stayed in touch with a few coworkers via group chat, mostly the occasional roast of our former employer. One Friday night, I got a private message from John, male 42, a former coworker who had never DM'd me outside of work stuff. Intrigued, I opened it, and wow, apparently he'd seen a pic I posted on Instagram that had him feeling some type of way, been there, attached for reference. He was clearly a few drinks in and asked if I had a Reddit or OnlyFans where I posted adult content. Now, I was caught off guard, sure, but as a Capricorn with a side hustle addiction, and let's be honest, a little slutty praise kink, I was intrigued. After about 30 minutes of Googling, I said, screw it, and started a channel. Okay, this is crazy. Sent him my first video that night. Don't worry, he already paid. A few videos and sexy DMs later, he generously tipped to sponsor a dildo purchase. Very PBS of him. But then the next day, he got cold feet. He told me he was married with kids, and they always are, and that knowing me personally made it feel too real. Fair enough. I told him I understood, backed off, and figured I'd just pivot for building an audience. By the way, he came. He didn't get cold feet, sweetheart. He nutted and said, oh my God, I have a wife. He was messaging. He asked if you had an OnlyFans for adult content. He didn't feel cold feet asking the girl he had never talked to about an OnlyFans that he hadn't seen in months, do you do adult content? He came, dropped his load, and said, oh my God, I could get caught. Okay, Jesus. What I didn't expect was losing that specific validation kind of popped my slutty bubble. Turns out sex work is work, and without that one horny guy cheering me on, I didn't have the same motivation. Still, I kept the page up and would occasionally post teaser content. Here's the thing, OnlyFans tells you when someone revisits your message thread, so even though I couldn't see who was checking my feed, it was clearly one account. And it was always coined with John rereading our messages, so yeah, he was lurking for free. Well, he paid for that one video, so it does stay there forever. When you pay for a video, it will always stay in the messages, just to let you know, because I have paid for videos on OnlyFans, and sometimes I go back and I watch and I jerk off to it. There's this guy on OnlyFans that I'm not going to actually share that because that's actually really inappropriate.
Patreon.com/Feelin Girlie. We'll talk about it.
Yeah. I'll tell you guys the OnlyFans that I jerked off to because it's kind of like taboo or whatever. But whatever. There's this guy who gets caught jerking off by his grandfather. But I don't think it's his real grandfather. But it's like a whole thing. You know.
Oh, so he puts on like a fake, like it's like a show.
I guess.
It's like a series?
I think it's his step grandfather, and he's always like jerking off, and he's like, I'm staying at my grandfather's house. But they're both like they're like living in Amsterdam. I don't know. It's very.
Well,
it's
I
like,
am curious about it now, though.
sure, I'll show you the video.
No. I mean, it's just one video.
Yeah, his name is he's actually now made like 8 of them.
That's what I was gonna get at. So the first, so it's a fake thing. It's staged.
Yeah.
Is he a good actor?
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's like step grandfather, and they're both like ripped. I love a ripped old man. Oh my god, those ripped old man nipples, and they're like, oh my god, it's so hot.
And then does he go like, I got it for you?
No,
You're doing it all wrong, son. I gotta show you how to do it.
Yeah, it kind of. Oh, wait, I hope that's like. Should we take this out? No, they actually don't touch, which makes it feel like weirdly more real.
We keep all that in.
Okay, I'm sorry. But this is the kind of content I'm giving you. Okay. Fast forward 6 months. I hadn't logged in for a while. OnlyFans and OnlyFans had actually logged me out. When I got back in, I realized I had never cashed out my earnings. Classic me. Also had 2 new messages from John sent about a month earlier. One was at 1 a.m. Did you ever use the dildo I bought you? And the other sent 30 minutes later with him saying he changed his mind again. Iconic. No, he just came again. I won't lie. His little relapse thrilled me. I'm kind of embarrassed by how much it turns me on when people want me, but also I didn't care about him as a person, so it became a mental loop. I told him I'd send a video if he wanted. A week later, after daily lurking, he replied weirdly detached, if you've already got something recorded, I might be interested in purchasing. That's when the guilt finally hit. Like, is this anti-girl behavior? I had no feelings for this man, but he clearly had complicated feelings for me, and that felt icky. He didn't have complicated feelings for you. He liked the idea that he'd fuck you. Of course, I still sent the video. Then I sent my account to auto-delete after 30 days and didn't tell him. Petty? Probably. But he watched that video every day until my new account disappeared, never responded. Now I'm seeing him this weekend at a former Coworker event, and there's a chance his wife might be there. So, am I the asshole for monetizing this moment of weakness and feeding into it, even if it's ultimately came from a place of validation and horniness? Thanks for reading, and thank you for giving us a space where women can be a little messy and still loved for it. Oh, girly. Oh my god, absolutely. So it's kind of a thought that's coming into my head is like, is it morally okay? It's interesting because you know him. You know, that is the part where it's kind of, but here's the thing. You're not in a relationship. He is. At the end of the day, it's like, yeah, is it girls behavior? No, but also we are living in a culture right now where it's like girl behavior is being kind of like bastardized, where it's like, I'm not saying that like what you did is like right, but it's kind of like, you know, porn is just sex if there's not like sex is just porn if there's not a camera there. You know what I mean? Like, so once you put a camera there, all of a sudden it's porn and it makes it legal. It's like, does this consider the same thing? It's like, because it was a video and he paid for it, it doesn't really count as like an honest exchange. Like, at the end of the day, I'm trying to decide whether or not this is just like, honestly, fuck it, who cares? Yeah, he has a wife. He messaged you. He asked for all of that stuff. This is all on him, and this turned you on that somebody wanted you. Totally get that. Also, when people are like really into me, whenever people are like, I'm into people who aren't into me, I'm like, I'm not. When someone's not into me, I'm like so turned off. When they are into me, I'm like rock hard. So I'm right there with you, but whatever. Don't say anything. I also wouldn't say like, don't say anything to his wife. You're not like morally superior or anything like that. Like, there's no reason to like blow this up or anything. Just, you deleted your account. It's gone. It happened. You did whatever you did on that video. He paid for it. And I'm sure there's girls right now being like, this is really fucked up. And it's like, yeah, life's fucked up and people do fucked up shit all the time and nobody's good or bad. Things just happen. And yeah, what do you think, Ariel?
Wait, she didn't know that he was in a relationship in the beginning, right?
I'm sure he did.
I'm sure she did.
Yeah, it's an old coworker.
I don't think it's
true. I don't think.
I genuinely don't care.
It's his fault.
It's his fault. It's whatever. You listen. You're a sex worker. What do you want? You make one video. I'm like, you're a sex worker, chica. Okay, this is the game.
That's why this is weird talking about this. It's like, I think that's why I think this is like the type of example of when I think that. Why I think OnlyFans type of stuff is like like men subscribing to OnlyFans is so much weirder to me than just like watching porn.
Well, because it's personal.
It's personal. It feels weird when you're like paying. It like there's something about it where it's like it's almost like a relationship, but it's not.
Well,
because like, there's an exchange of.
Well, because when you watch it on it's all a mental game, because when you watch on Pornhub or any of those types of things, you can't message the people in the video. You have access to message the people on OnlyFans, even though, by the way, if there's any men listening, they're being run by people who aren't that people, and you're never talking to that actual girl, and you're probably like jerking off, messaging another guy running her account. You humiliating piece of shit. It's like men are so stupid though. You have to remember, like straight men are they're so horny, and they're such like they don't get sex as often as they want, so they fall for it every single time. That's like when every single movie, like women use like sexual seduction to like trick a man to like getting his gun or whatever. You know, it's like strippers. It's like how many guys do we know go to a strip club and they like leave being like, no, she liked me.
Yeah.
Like they feel the same way about OnlyFans. They're like, no, we have like we talk or whatever, and it's like it should just be like for hot content or whatever. Like this is a little bit different because you know each other.
It almost feels like a sext more than it feels like an OnlyFans exchange. Do you know what I mean? It's like one thing if she
it
had
is
the
a
flag.
sex, and they're almost using the OnlyFans to kind of be like put it in this like other
You're
category
right,
to be like this isn't cheating, it's OnlyFans. Like I used my credit card for this.
Yeah.
Also, though, to be honest, and this probably isn't the case, you don't know what goes on in other people's relationships. These people could be open. They could. I mean, I doubt they are. He's probably just trying to fucking cheat on his wife. I really think most men are just cheating on their wives, in my personal opinion. Yeah. So, how do I feel about? Are you the asshole? I mean, no. I would ask. I don't know. I don't think you're an asshole. I just think like maybe like does this really turn you on, or you're having a good time? I would just say like I would just hope you're not deflecting like actual feelings or possibly relationship stuff for male attention. That would be the only thing I would say watch out for.
I think they're both in the wrong.
And that's why we don't ask men their opinion on this podcast. We just Josh, why don't you just stick to the giggles? Okay, what are we at time wise? 45. We'll do one more email and then we're gonna move over to the Patreon.
Patreon.com/feelingirlie.
Love it. Oh, this one's cute. Okay. I want to do like okay. Slut reawakening, identifying as a slut. Hi, who isn't? Okay. Hi, Dylan and crew. For Tier 1 Girlie loves you and you guys so much. Sending love from Canada. Keep me anonymous, please, and we'll include pics for the story. So basically, I was in a relationship for 5 years. We broke up in the start of December 2024. Congratulations. There's nothing better than when it really is though. When you get into a long-term relationship and you get out, like you're literally about to flourish in a way that you didn't even realize it. So many girls don't even realize when they're in relationships, their petals start to fall off, you know, and they have to go through a whole other. Is Kat here?
No, that's all right. I've looked over my shoulder because you looked.
Okay, so before I met my partner, I was a crazy slut, in my opinion. My friends hate when I identify as a slut, but I truly was prior to my... By the way, there's nothing wrong with being a slut. Men use that word to villainize women for not having sex with them. That's all it ever is. Don't ever feel bad for being a slut or fucking whoever you want, okay? But I was true... But my friends hate when I identify as a slut. And then, yeah, girls don't like the word slut. It's kind of like when gay guys don't like the word... Because it's like personal to them because they've been called sluts before, so you have to be careful about that. But honey, I'm a fucking slut right here, okay? I'm looking for loads in my mouth, okay? Sorry, Josh is on his phone, or he would have left. My friends hate when I identify as a slut, but I truly was prior to my partner, and I was an escort, okay? A paid slut. I love that. So not only would I fuck for work, but I would fuck for fun after work. Anyways, after our breakup, I stuck to myself, and literally a few weeks ago, after 6 months of no sex, I decided to hook up with D here, and it was incredibly totally dickmatized. He was fit as fuck and dick was thick and 8 inches. It hurt. I love that. I love thick. It's so embarrassing. I thought we would see each other again, but 3 days after we hooked up, he said he wanted to do something more serious, different, but like, what the fuck? What do you mean you fucked me, no condom? Basically came at me twice, but anyways, I cried over it for the day, but to make myself feel better, I started building a roster, an army, if you will, of guys that I'm gonna fuck to get over somebody. Already fucked one, hopefully another 3 soon. So yes, let side awaken because I mask and I process feelings through fucking and forgetting. But the sickest part is if he DM'd me to fuck again, then I would fold instantly. Anyways, I just wanted to share with y'all. I also should have known it would have never worked with him because he seemed hella Republican and I kept calling him a slut the whole night. Okay. Yeah, there wasn't a lot going on. I think, yeah, fuck whoever you want. Have a good time. I think it's cool that you were a sex worker. Oh, yeah, you're absolutely gorgeous. Whoa. Honey, if you want to know what my type is, it's this guy. Holy shit. Oh, my God. This guy's 8 inches in thick. This is a straight guy that I think if I was alone in a room with, I would think I might say something. Because you want to know what he looks like? Yeah, for sure he's hella Republican. Wait, let me just finish this and I'll show you. He is hella Republican. He's wearing a wife beater. He looks like he would beat the shit out of me for being gay. I would be on my knees in a second. I mean, honest to God, look at this. Look at his chain. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. Do you see that, Ariel? 8 inches thick. Honey, I'm right there with you. If he DM'd me, oh, yeah, but of course, look at this guy. He would never. He's obviously gonna treat you like shit after he has sex with you. I mean, you thought this guy was gonna be a little sweetheart. He looks like his name. What does he look like his name is? Like, he looks like his name's like Maki.
Yeah.
Like he's like from Boston. He's like, hey, it's Maki. Oh my God, he's really. I can't tell if he's mewing or if he has a cute face. I wish you would send other pictures. Wow, this is a classic bad person. But yeah, I would absolutely have sex with him. But honestly, congratulations on your slut reawakening, and I identify as a slut as well. And I'm sending you a lot of love. And just yeah. Honestly, if he hits you up, just fuck him, but no, it's not for anything else. Here's your problem, that you just got to have a 5-year relationship, and you think because the first guy fucked you, he's going to be your boyfriend. He's not. You have to just be a slut right now, okay? All right, well, with that being said, we're going to move over to the Patreon and hang out with my good friend Kat Swatner, and I'll talk to you guys soon. We'll see you on patreon.com/feelingirlie.
Patreon.com/feelingirlie.
See you next Thursday, sluts. Bye.